Hey everybody, welcome to another great episode of Leo's Garden in the Suburbs. Today I'm going to be planting garlic. So normally I do this after Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving weekend. Might have plans this Thanksgiving weekend, not sure yet. But more than anything, I usually wait till then because I live in Virginia. It's usually when it starts cooling down and everything else. But we are expecting some cold snaps into the 30s coming next week. So I figured I'd do half of my garden now, see how it does, with it being the beginning of November, and then do the other half after Thanksgiving and see how that does. And so this is how I do it. So what I have here is I have several different varieties of garlic. Purchased these off of migardener.com. That's beautiful kind of garlic there. And what I'm going to do is I will just go through and I'll plant these, and then I'll be able to plant some more later on. But what I've done so far is I've gone ahead and I've taken my square foot gardening seed square and done 9 holes per square foot. So I'll start with 9 of each type of garlic and kind of plant these throughout. Now, one of the tricks I've learned over time, if I can break his head up, is you want to plant the bigger cloves. Now, the head of garlic is just that, the head, the full, all the cloves, everything else. This is what you buy in the store. All right, you can't use that one. What you want to make sure you do is you're very careful. You don't want to break this paper wrapper off. It's what helps kind of keep the garlic from rotting in the ground and everything else. We've done a little bit of more prep work for y'all before we got started here, but you know, hey, things happen. So, some really good fresh garlic here. There's a good sized head and everything else, so we're going to break some of these up. Now, when you plant garlic, you know, it really doesn't matter how you put it in. It's always going to try to straighten itself up, but just remember, root side down. So, one, get down in there. You want to get these about, depending on where you live, about an inch or two, or you know, at least 2 inches into the soil. Now, I've gone through and I've poked some holes down in to where I want these to be. And then also, as you can see, I'm going a little bit deeper with my finger. Get these down in here. One of the things I did notice was that my soil was kind of dipping down. I have a lot of still fresh soil, especially in this bed here. So I went ahead and topped it off with some fresh compost from one of the other beds that I've been using just to basically make compost right now. A little 4 foot by 4 foot bed I have behind me that you all saw in a different video. But this is pretty much it. You just want to make sure that you get these down in there. The further down you get, the better. There's a spider running through there. And then you want to make sure that you are able to label what you have so you don't forget. Now, I bought every type of garlic that was available on In My Gardener's channel, more so because, well, number one, we love garlic. And number two, a lot of these are not normal garlic that I've had. So we want to try to give it a try, see what does well in our area. See which ones are, you know, this is a hard neck, so I'm going to put an HN on this one, and put that right in there, and that way I can just put this back away. I'm going to try to keep all my hard necks together, put all my soft necks together, and then the difference between the hard necks and the soft necks is the hard necks, as they grow, they'll grow a scape that'll grow straight up. Excuse me. Whew. November and I'm sweating. And it's just basically this here is hard, the actual neck of the garlic. Whereas with the soft neck, of course, you know, it's going to be more soft. And you're not going to get that scape. Makes things, you know, the scape, you can use it for different types of things. You can use it almost in place of chives if you want, if you're like us and like garlic, the taste of garlic and everything else. Man, I've separated these before. So one thing I will say about the hardnecks, with this scape in the middle, they do tend to a little bit harder to separate. Like I said, I probably should have pre-separated a lot of this. Here comes one of my helpers. And but this is about it. So like I said, the biggest thing you want to do is garlic. You really want 2 seasons for it. You want that first season where it'll start to grow a little bit, which is what we're in right now. And then the cold will hit and it'll look like it's dying off, but it's just kind of dying back. That allows the root growth to go really big, which is what you want. That gets you your bigger heads. And then as the season goes, it'll start growing back. It'll let you know when it's time. Once the weather's right and everything else, hard neck, center's gonna be like that. And then they'll come back. They'll be the first signs of it's a new season, everything's ready to go. You know, let's start bringing things back up. Let's start getting the planting going. It's what I usually use for everything else. So, gonna go ahead and get the rest of these planted, and then we'll be back with you. Everybody, so gotten all this planted out. Now I'm going to take some Trifecta Plus. It's what I like to use for a kind of a added nutrients, minerals, trace minerals, everything else. You can get this at MI Gardener too. Really recommend it. Had a lot of good things with it, everything else. So I'm just going to do a top dressing with this, And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up with this here. What this is red cedar bedding. So
Cedar.
Went down to local big box store today. Had to pick up some other things, and they usually say, you know, this is good for like lining pet beds and stuff like that. You know, for guinea pigs, gerbils, all that kind of stuff. It's also a sheep top cover.
It's for bunnies too.
Yep, bunnies too.
It has bunnies on it.
Yep. This is a good mulch, good insulator. Works really well. But I'll just sprinkle this on the top here and easy.
Okay.
Don't fall in.
I'm trying. Wow. The thing falling.
That's fine. So as you can see, I've pretty liberally, and so is my daughter, spread this all over the place. I barely put a dent into this thing, and so it's in here. It's looking good. Just want to give you a quick rundown of all the different types of garlic that we have in here. We have an Ivan hardneck. We have a chestnut red purple stripe hardneck. We have a Ichlium red softneck, a Lohr's Italian softneck, a Dunganski hardneck, and then on this side we have
extra hard.
a music hardneck. We have a German extra hard neck, a Persian Star Persian Star hard neck, and an Amish Rosambala, and that's a hard neck. And then we've also planted some more Lars Italian Star because we had some room left to go. And yes, that one did really smell good.
It smells like good sausage.
There you go. So kid approved. All right, so that's how I do my garlic. Once again, I'll be doing some on the other side come after Thanksgiving, so I'll bring you along for that. That'll be my part 2, and we'll kind of show you how everything's going. I'm going to go ahead and water this down so that way these wood shavings don't blow all over the place, and then we'll be back with you soon. Just remember, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons. We'll see you next week.
That's okay.
Yes. Family man with my kids in the suburbs, white picket fences, well, in our case, white vinyl fences that need to be sprayed down because I got mold already growing all of them. But if I can do this in the suburbs, you can do this in the suburbs. You don't need a lot of land, just create an area, build a box, and get planting. We'll see you soon.